So I want to go over that with you. So looking up here, equivalent. So let's say, just watch. You don't have to write anything. Just watch for about 4 minutes. Okay, so we have 5, and then we take away 3, right? So if you have 5 and you take away 3, then you end up with 2, right? Same thing goes with this, though. If you have 5 and you add 3 negatives, then remember, those make 0 pairs. The answer is still 2. So you see, they're the same. They're equivalent. Same result. Different. They look different, but they're the same result. They are equivalent. All right. Now notice these 2 equations here. So the one on the right here, how do we solve the one on the right? What would we do? What's my first step on the right problem right here? Plus 1. So I add 1, and that's going to give me 4x equals 12. What would you do next? Divide by 4, and that gives us 3. And then if you look at the other one there, you would do the same thing, and notice it ends up the same answer. But hopefully you notice that before, even when I got to this point, even when I got to this point, notice how they are the same. You see that? I'm solving this problem. They are the same. They are equivalent. They will end up being the same answer. So they end up being the same answer. That means they are equivalent. But sometimes you can notice that as you're solving the problem. Now, take a look at the one on the left. What would I do to solve that problem, the one on the left? I have to get rid of negative 2. What do I do? Do I add 2 or do I divide by negative 2? You divide by negative 2. And so that gives me, let's see, wait, there's 2 negatives. So what will that give me on the right side? Is it positive 3 or negative 3? Positive. Okay, because 2 negatives cancel. Notice that the answer is the same. That means that equation and this one are equivalent. They're equipped. They got the same answer, even though they look different. So now let's look at this problem, because you have about 4 problems that ask the same thing. They'll say, which equation is equivalent to this one? So you have to solve this one and then look over there and see which one matches. All right, how would I solve this one on the right? What would I do? That's right. You take the outside times the inside. Does anyone remember what's that called? Distributive property. Okay, so negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Okay, now what about the other one? That's negative 6 times negative 1. How much is negative 6 times negative 1? 6 times 1 is 6, right? That's 6x. But there's 2 negatives. You're multiplying 2 negatives. What does that mean? If you're multiplying with 2 negatives, is it positive or negative? It's positive, right? And that equals 20. All right, now what do I do? Do I divide or do I add? You add. Add what? 12. I add 12. And you get that. Hey, wait a minute. Look over on the left side. Is there anything that matches? That's right. Letter C matches. So see that you just started, you don't have to solve everything. Just solve part of it and you can see the answer. Not every time, but most of the time. All right. That's what they mean by equivalent. All right. All right, here's our next problem. Now, sometimes it works this way. Sometimes you have to work out the whole problem. Okay, what do I do? This one wants to know the same thing. Which one's equivalent? Okay, so what do I do first to the problem on the right? Say again? Add 4. Okay. Okay, those guys who have your computers open, hope you're focusing here. I'm going to have you shut them. All right, so let's see. I add 4. And that gives me what? 30. Thank you. Is there anything that matches over there right now? No, nothing's really matching. So we got to solve it. So what do I do now? Or maybe you could look at the answer and tell. I don't know. You divide by 5, and the x is 6. And hopefully you can see that 5 times 6 is 30. The answer is 6. I don't see anything that matches over there. So I have to figure out something over here where the answer is 6, where x is 6. So you can do it two ways. Question? Okay, just hold on just a second. So I'm trying to explain something, but thank you. I think I can tell you got it right. All right, so you have two ways of doing it. One, you can solve every problem and see if the answer is 6. Or you could take 6 and plug in there and see if it works. For example, if I take the first one, I plug 6 in there for x. I put 6 in there for x. That's 36. 6 times 6 is 36. Does 36 does not equal negative 36. That's not going to work. 6 is not the answer. Try the next one. If I put 6 in there, if I put 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 does not equal 10. That doesn't work. The other one, if I put 6 in there for x, that's 3 times 6 is 18. 18 does not equal 6. Well, then it must be the last one. It has to be. Okay, and you know what? So if I put 6 in there, it's going to be true. 6 times 6 is 36. So you could have solved each one, or you could just plug in a 6 and see if it works. The answer. So it could be like the first one, or it could be like this one. All right, so because I know you guys can solve the problem, but I just want to make sure you know how to answer it, though. Get the right answer. It's a little tricky. Do you think you get that one right? Now that you know how to do it? Okay, 2 of you, good. All right, this problem right here. It says angle ABC is 90. That means that angle is 90 degrees. That angle is 90. So how do we solve it? How am I gonna figure this out now? What am I gonna do? Okay, so it's 90, big deal. Now what? I need to solve x. Yeah, you could put it into an equation. Can you see how those two angles add up to 90? So this plus the 27 equals 90. And you can solve it from there. And some of you guys you know some fast tricks. Some of you will take 90 and you'll subtract 27, and then you'll subtract 38, and you can do that. It's customary, though, or it's conventional that we just go ahead and put things together by like terms. So how much is 38 and 27? 60 something, I think. 55 or 65? 65. That's 65. Okay. So now what do you do? Subtract 65 from 90. And remember, when you're doing your final exam, you just write on scratch paper. You can just write whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to make it neat for me or anything. So you subtract that, and that's going to give us 25. What is the answer anyways? Could you look at it and see now? X is what? 5. Because 5 times 5 is 25. Or you would just divide by 5, and you can see that it's 5. How many think if it's multiple choice, you could get that correct? You figure it out. Okay, good. It's so nice to have multiple choice, because then at least if you do the answer, you look to see if yours matches. If it doesn't, then you know you'd have to go back and recheck it. I like that. All right, number 4. What is the equation to find circumference of a circle? Okay, first of all, we know pi's in there, right? What else is in there? Radius? Okay, now it's either r squared or it's 2r. Gosh, very good. It is. It's 2r. 2 times radius times pi. 2 times radius times pi. All right, and looking at this one down below, what is the radius of that one down below? That circle, letter B, what is the radius of that circle? It's right there. It's 9 meters, right? It's 9. So you would plug in 9 with the R. So you would have, right? You'd plug in 9 in there. Sorry, it's going like that. 2 times 9 times pi. And then it says exactly. So don't use 3.14. Just leave pi alone. 2 times 9 is 18. So 18 pi would be it. Or it might be just 2 times 9 times pi, they may say. I don't know. And that's it. All right. So you don't have to worry about 3.14 getting everything exact, rounding off or anything. All right. Let's take a look at the backside. This is the hardest problem. The next side, number 5. But the thing is, you know what? What's going to happen is you're not going to have to solve all of it. You just solve it until it matches the left side. All right? You solve it until you match the right side. And you don't have to write the problem because it's already right there. All right, so what do I do first? Combine like terms. Okay, so I'll put together my positive x's because I like to do that. 2x and 4x. How much is that? Okay, that's 6x. Now, what about my negative x's? How much is that? That's right. A lot of people forget this other one. They forget about that. But you are correct. It is negative 9x. And then if I put together the constants, negative 8 and 9, that's right. Good job. That's 1. Not negative 1, but 1. Because 9 take away 8 is 1. Okay, now we put together, nothing matches yet. Okay, what about 6x minus 9x? You go up 6, down 9. That's down 3, negative 3x. Okay, is anything matches on the left? B is a correct answer. Sometimes if you're not looking for it, you end up, solving the whole thing without even looking at it. But you know what? The correct answer is letter B. I started solving it. I wasn't paying attention, but B is the correct one. You don't have to go all the way. There it is. B is the answer. How many think that you could do that? You could match it up. See that? You don't have to go all the way. Very good. Okay. I think writing down the problem is half the work. It seems like, doesn't it, when you're doing these problems? All right. It says graph each inequality. So remember, some of them are solid and some of them are not. So on this one right here, like this first one, let me just go ahead and I'll do this. First of all, can 3 fit in there? Is 3 less than 3? No. So you know what? 3 cannot be an answer. That's why it's open circle, because it cannot be an answer. And then I would just shade same direction as arrow. That's it. Okay, you try the others real quick and I'll just go over it. Try the others, see if you can get those right. So sometimes they're solid, sometimes they're open. Okay, got it? All right, so I know they all have circles, just some of them are solid. And we know it goes with the arrow, right? Goes that direction. But some are, so okay, which ones are solid? Wait, yeah, Caleb. Excuse me? Yeah, the 2 in the middle. See, they have equals there. Solid. Because 3 will work in there. Equals solid. And that's it. No. Because it's saying all numbers more than or equal to 3. More than 3. More than 3. Yeah, going to the right means more. Going to the left means less. More, less. So these symbols do have names, by the way. Less than and more than. This is less than. This is less than or equal. More than or equal. More than. Those are the names. It's not alligators, just so you know. But it's a good way to, it's helpful when you're younger to do that, but as we get older, once you hit your teens, then it's not. All right, let's go to number 7. 7, solve and graph. All right, what is our first step? Add 13. Okay, so you add 13. And that's, okay, this is the hard part, this part. Negative 40 plus 13. It's negative, right? There's more negative. You go down 40 and up 13. Where are you at? Negative something. 40 take away 13 is 27. Yeah. So see if they're different signs, you would subtract them. Okay, now what would you do? Divide by 3, right? And 3 goes into 27. 9 times, is it negative or positive? There's one negative, so that means negative. All right, so now you just graph it, you know, put a negative 9 down there. Is it open or closed? Open, because there's no equals. You can't put negative 9 is not more than negative 9. So should look something like that. Right? Okay, number 8. What is the equation used to find the area of a circle?
30 squared times pi.
R squared pi. That's right. Let me just see what I got right there. You know pi's in there. You know r's in there. It's r squared because area is always squares. Area is always squares. So now you just got to, and r is how much on the bottom? 9. So you have 9 squared. Now, so 9 squared pi. 9 squared is 81. It's 9 times 9. A lot of people think it's 18. It's not. It's 9 times 9. Because, right? Because squares, you know, like how you measure the square footage of a room, you multiply the 2 sides. And so like this room right here is, I think it's 25 by 35, something like that. And so you would multiply 25 times 35, and that's the square footage. Area is always measured in squares. We don't use circles to measure area. We use squares. I know, that would be weird. I don't know how we do that. That's an interesting, that's kind of interesting. But I might blow my brain up, I don't know. All right, here's number 9. And so it says that angle ABC, do you see where angle ABC is? Look at the letters, ABC. It's straight, right? What kind of angle is that? It's a straight angle. You're right. It's a straight angle. That's a straight angle. And it's saying that that straight angle equals 180. That means all these 3 add up to 180. So you just gotta combine them all. Let's see. So we have x plus 14. Then you have 70. And then you have 3x. It all equals 180. See if you can figure that out on your own. See if you can try that. I think I've been going too fast for you guys. Have I been going too fast for you? No? Okay, so what would be my first step? Yeah, combine the x, combine like terms, right. So I put the x's together. A lot of people keep, some people do, not a lot. Some people forget about this 1x. So you have 4x, then you have 14 and 70. How much is that? That's 84. Now what do? Take away 84. How much is that? Yes, that is 96. This is where people get thrown off. Now remember, there's calculators embedded in the program, so you can just divide by 4. I'll tell you this right now. 4 quarters is $1. 4 times 25 is 100. So 4 times something is 96. What would it be? 24 is correct. But remember, you'll have calculators embedded in. You can just say 96 divided by 4 is 24. 24. And that is it. So now do you see how the wording is?